Hello and welcome. So today we are talking about black color grading in general. Why? It's autumn, so as you can see there is, at least I can see a lot of those presets running all over the place being sold. And what's the main idea behind black color grading? We desaturate all the colors, we leave one main color, usually on our subject, and then we either crush the blacks or we lift up the blacks, so we will have a matte faded look effect. So as you can see here, black and red, black and orange, black and orange, and those blacks, for example, here, they are very crushed. So this is one approach. This is the second matte approach with the faded look, and this is also, it's pretty much very contrasty, desaturated, with only particular colors that we want visible and having any saturation at all. So let's dig in. How can we do it?
Bokeh Photos. Affinity Photo.
This is our photo from Unsplash, and let's try. I would do this simply add an HSL adjustment layer to fade all the colors we don't need, and then add a curve adjustment layer to crush those blacks and figure out the way how to make the contrast look as much appealing as possible for us, because there is no correct answer. You are the one creating this, you should be happy with your work. That's the bottom line. Okay, so HSL adjustment layer. I see those reds. I don't want those reds here, so let's get rid of those reds right here, and those purplish colors also, because this is a little bit pink, I would say. Let's try to crush this. Unfortunately, we have a lot of those colors on her face, and this might be a little bit problematic to remove. But we can always mask this later. This is just the rules. How can we do it? Yellow colors. Yellow, we can pop the colors a little bit more. Greens, let's make a wide selection for greens, and maybe not change the greens, not desaturate the greens, but change them to yellow, like this. And we can desaturate those. Add saturation or saturate a little bit, and with luminance we can either turn this white or crush those to get a little bit more contrast. I would go with this, because this is then a lot brighter. I like that. Blues, there aren't any blues. Pinks, let's try and make those flowers. Yes, unfortunately this is a lot more red than pink. So let's try and move this towards yellow a little bit more. Okay, this is a little bit more yellowish. Maybe it's not perfect, but you know the idea behind that and how it should work. Okay, so there we have it. Pretty much a black matte effect, and let's add the curve adjustment layer also. Let's start with the regular S-curve, more or less, of course, and then fill around. This point here pretty much is always the point that will be able to make for us the contrast we want, like that, or maybe we want to lift those shadows, or just simply crush the blacks. I'll go with crushing the blacks just because we can, just to show you how it looks. And this is pretty much up to you. If you want something like that, you can go with something like that. If you want something, something more faded like this, you need to push this up. You can of course also put the whites up and pretty much add as much brightness as possible. On the end, of course, if you really want, you can add contrast just in general, so you can get some feel how it will look, or will it look better or not. It all depends on you. But this is how you can do the basic black and some color grading effect on your photography. So now I wanted to talk about presets. Like, we don't have presets in Affinity. The only presets we have is something like that, for a single particular adjustment layer, which doesn't make us happy at all, because we need to click this or this or this, then we would have to click somewhere else, and HSL adjustment layer doesn't give us anything. We would have to have a single preset only for HSL, which is pretty much enough, I would say. But let's just say you would like to have everything like that. Let's go with another image, and let's start from scratch and create a macro for all of those adjustments that we did in a second ago. So let's go with the HSL adjustment layer again. Desaturate those reds, but not too much, so we'll have a little bit of color. Let's pop up those yellows. Greens, we don't want greens, so let's widen the effect for greens also, and let's put the luminosity down so everything will be black, so the girl will be a lot more visible. blue. This is blue, and her eyes, as you can see, are also blue. So I would use the color picker. Pick a blue a little bit here, yes. Spread wide open. And I won't desaturate that, because this will look bad, I would say. I would change the color to yellow. Yes, to something like that. Yellowish, a little bit orangey. Exactly. Next part is, we can try and make those brown leaves in the back a little bit more yellow. Or at least pop everything with the particular color. Okay. This is of course hard to select because this is very similar color on the color wheel. So I would say let's leave it like that. And pretty much there we have it. This is our color grading. And let's do the curve adjustment layer. And of course this is pretty much the basic we can do. So add as much contrast as you would like. You can add more, you can add less. Everything is totally up to you. But what I wanted to show you, pretty much you could use the macro tool for making every step-by-step changes, and everything would be in the macro. But what I like to do, so it will be faster and easier for me, and pretty much I have to do this only once, is now I can move those layers here, just because it's easier. Now I can select all those layers, create a macro, start recording, copy and paste those layers, and just add them to library. Sorry, we need to stop recording, add this to library as black color grading yellow one, let's say, and there we have it. And let's go to another image and click this, and there you have it. Copied both layers exactly without all those fusses. Of course, macro, we cannot edit this because this is a simple pass, but still we have all those layers here, and then we can access those and change whatever we want. So this is how you do an Affinity Photo preset in the end. This is pretty much the same as actions in Photoshop. The other way you can do it is pretty much creating a file. As you can see here, I have already prepared for you. It's called Yellow Preset. It has all the adjustment layers as I see fit for that particular edit, and then I just copied additional images here and export them, and that's it. Because as you can see, this is the original photo, and I just changed the photography from a different layer, add everything I need, change anything I need, and then export. And this is pretty much also probably one of the easiest way you can do something like that. Just hold on to a couple of files that are doing a lot of stuff, either a macro or those files, and then export your images one by one. Okay guys, so pretty much that's it. This is how you can easily do any color grading given black and some additional colors for autumn, for winter, for whatever. It's very simple. Adjustment layer, curves adjustment layer, and you're golden. Nothing more, nothing else. If you got any questions or comments, hit me up in the comment sections, and bye for now.